All weapons, drugs used in this video are props designed by prop specialists for cinematic entertainment.
Get off me! Oh, shit.
Oh, hey, did you know there's a fucking bomb? It's on its way. It's coming in about, like, what time is it? I don't even know. 12 p.m. Got some freaking zombies out there. I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. They're on their way. Before I go, let me waste my breath telling you something before the bomb hits. If you're new, make sure you leave a like, rate, comment, subscribe below, and become a butcher today for your daily slice of happiness. Do it now or the zombies are gonna freaking eat you. I gotta go, they're coming in.
Good evening, fellow survivors. It is your expert survivor here, back with another video. Today, we are going to be reviewing the awful, the dreadful Army of the Dead movie. Now, it wasn't that bad, okay? I will admit it was not that bad. However, there are definitely some flaws, and looking at it logically, you will see what I mean in a minute. So we have some bads, some goods here. I wrote on a piece of paper. You already know the deal. We're out of supplies. We're out of technology. We have to write on paper right now. So while I'm doing this review, there's some freaking zombies out there. I don't know if you can hear them. We're gonna go spoiler free for the first section. As you know already, we already know the deal. From a newbie's perspective going into it and without spoiling anything, I would have to give this movie a solid 6 out of 10 because it was pretty good graphically, but it did have some problems logically speaking from the more human perspective side of things. So with that said, you already have some issues going on with logical thinking, logical moments where they're wasting too much time talking, wasting too much time having these emotional moments when they should be rushing in the movie because they're being tailed by zombies and whatnot. Other than that, the actors did a phenomenal job. The CG was amazing. The graphics, amazing. Everything was amazing. Sound design, amazing. Everything was good except for the actual plot itself. That's just my opinion. If you're somebody that likes to see a lot of visually pleasing things, if you're easily pleased by visuals, or you like to see stupid people make stupid mistakes like I like to see in some horror films like Jason and whatnot, then this is the film for you. If you love explosions, this is the film for you. If you love zombies, this is the film for you. If you have no problems with sci-fi, people acting stupid, and a bunch of unnecessary explosions, then this is the movie for you. I 100% recommend it for people like that. It is a Zack Snyder film after all, so of course there's going to be plenty of shirtless guys and explosions for you to enjoy. So with that said, let's get into the spoiler section. If you have seen the movie and you're sticking around, then stick with me. I've got a bunch of notes and bads and goods to go through on this notebook that I want you guys to see, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would like to see what you thought of the movie yourself and some certain opinions that you formulated yourself over the course of the movie. So with that said, let's get into the spoilers. So I'm going to be going throughout the whole film basically, and I'm going to be going over the goods first most of the time, and then we're going to go over the bads. And then at the very end, we're going to look at all the notes collectively and see what kind of questions that I have personally for the film, and if they will tie into the sequel, because I'm pretty sure there will be a sequel if you've seen the ending. So in the beginning, we start at Area 51, and if you did not notice, there was a clip that they played with the guard staring off into the distance, and in the very back, you can see a little UFO flying around in the corner up there, and it just zooms away. That a lot of people did not catch. However, I did see that in the very beginning, and I did notice it, and I kept that along with me throughout the whole entire film. So take a note of that. We will get into that later, and I will discuss why I took a note of that earlier. We get a convoy that's going through the highway. Of course, they're transporting some crazy experiment or super soldier, what have you. We don't know what they are truthfully yet until we see the sequel. But basically, we had a reckless driver, and I did take notes of them. I call them the Vegas couple. They were reckless, and they just got married, and they did ruin the convoy. Okay, that's the notes that I got from them. They were not important whatsoever, but this guy was getting head in the freaking vehicle while he's driving, mind you, and also not looking at the road, paying attention to what the girl's doing. Now, I know you're getting what you got. Go do it in a hotel. Wait till you get to a freaking house, okay? So this basically causes the convoy to explode in a fiery explosion of hell. Realistically speaking, I do not think a car going head-on into a truck will explode in a fiery explosion like it did in this scene. However, it did, and that basically ruined the whole convoy, set them off course, and the experiment has breached containment at this point. Now, The experiment looks like a soldier that was undead, basically. They did some experiments on him, and now he's some sort of super soldier. And let me tell you, this brings me into a couple bad things, alright? So, the convoy is called the Horsemen. They're supposed to be the best of the best. They're supposed to be watching over this experiment and not letting it breach out of containment, okay? However, the notes I got here is that they're military, obviously. They're important in a way, at least the organization. But they all die very easy, and I don't feel like they had any type of training whatsoever. I feel like they picked the worst of the worst guards when it came to escorting this convoy, and that is what led them to their demise, because as soon as the super soldier breaks containment, these guards are looking cluelessly, just staring into the freaking flames, not even doing a damn thing, not running, not communicating, and if they did communicate, they never listened to each other. And mind you, they were a bad shot, and when they did hit their shots, they obviously only shot for the torso. Like an idiot, you know that anything that has to do with super terrestrial, experimental, or anything alien-like, you always go for the head. The head is always the weak spot most of the time. When you see it in movies, films, games, anything, these guys did not shoot the brain. They missed all their shots, and when they hit their shots, they buffed it, and they literally just got slaughtered. All of them got slaughtered. There's 2 that got away, and they did it for nothing because they ended up getting slaughtered anyway and turned into fellow zombies. Now, after this whole entire intro scene plays out, they look upon Vegas, and they're basically hinting that they're going to wreak havoc on Las Vegas, obviously. Fast forward a couple years, and basically we get this whole awesome intro with music playing and everything. Whole horde of zombies. The only thing I will say that I liked out of that intro was obviously the Elvis zombie. The Elvis zombie was the best thing added into that intro, okay? So that definitely gave it a point because I love Elvis zombie, you already know. We obviously have great camera work. The camera work is awesome. We have some great shots throughout the film. There is a certain moment in the film where the alpha zombie, if you know already, was standing on top of the Statue of Liberty and had like a head on the pike, and it was just standing up there. That was an awesome shot. We also had some good shots of Las Vegas in total. We had some good shots of certain characters, certain angles, certain views. I loved the shots with the tiger. Amazing. But we'll get into that later. The parachuting scene was hilarious. Having these guys that are parachuting from the AC-130s above, they're basically just coming down and parachuting right into a horde of zombies, and they can't do shit. Basically, they're just shooting aimlessly, hoping that they can get an opening, but they're basically done. They're basically being fed to freaking zombies like piranhas are being fed meat in the river. Alright, so that's crazy. But that was an awesome scene. I laughed. It was funny. It was good. I liked that. You can't always have too many explosions, I will say that, but there's definitely a lot of explosions that were unnecessary from a realistic standpoint, alright? Why are the guards that are basically transporting the super zombie, why are they not informed on what they are transporting? Because that just further proves my point as to why they are not completely trained, why they're not properly trained. It's because these people are not telling their own officials what they're transporting, and I think they have the right to know so they can be better prepared for that. So that I had a problem with from a realistic standpoint, but moving on. I find that the virus kind of transmits a little way too fast with traditional zombies and traditional zombie movies. Usually it takes up to like 20 to 30 minutes. We had some people transform instantly, and we had some people within the film later on that transform like 20 minutes after the fact or 30 minutes after the fact, even a couple hours after the fact. So it's kind of inconsistent to me, and it's just kind of odd. I don't know, like, is there a certain point as to where you will become infected, or does it depend on where you're bit and what time you're bit? Another thing which is it's comical, I will say. It's pretty comical, it's funny, but we didn't need to see it. I will be honest, from a realistic standpoint, we didn't need to see it. I get it. I kind of take it back as a bad. It's more like another bump. We have zombie titties, okay? Zombie titties. Now, I don't know about you, but this is the first film where I think I've seen some zombie titties. Actually, I lied. I think I've seen a film on Netflix a while ago when I was a kid about a zombie strip club, and they used to have zombie titties in that, I think. So yeah, but it's kind of just, it's weird in a way, because, you know, is it necrophilia or is it not? Or, you know, I don't know. It was a little comical. I laughed a little bit, so That definitely does give it some comedy points. The guy with the cement saw, now, I love the guy, I love the actor, I love his character, it's amazing. He's super cool, super ballsy, super buff, you already know the deal. Super cool though. The only problem I had with him is the cement saw. Thankfully, he did not use it too much in the film, and that was good, because I thought that the cement saw as a weapon as a whole, I thought he was going to use it throughout the whole film, so this is when I wrote this down. I thought that it looked completely impractical, okay? There's no way that you do not get tired swinging that heavy-ass thing through hordes of zombies for hours. There's no way. You could probably get like 5 kills, and then you're going to start getting tired. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how much you've worked out, how much cardio you did. I'm telling you, you're going to get tired, and that thing is going to get dull, and eventually it's not going to work, okay? And not only that, but you also have to charge it. It's a power tool, okay? It's not going to charge itself. So it's definitely not practical in a zombie apocalypse, but thank God that he did not use it too much. After the intro and all this stuff, we get a whole scene where we're shown Las Vegas, and there's a little camp outside of Las Vegas where Batista's daughter's being kept. I forgot the character's name. I'll get into that later because it's on my other page. But Dave Bautista's daughter, Kate. I remember Kate because I hate her character so much that I rhymed hate with Kate. So yeah, I hate Kate. But either way, we're getting into this camp scene, and my first question that I had to ask and I had to put under my badge is, why in the hell are military officials holding civilians and innocent people in a camp right outside of hordes of zombies? Why? I don't know. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I kind of get that the government's supposed to be a joke in this film because you see that later on with a couple little jokes. It's kind of stupid that they keep a whole camp of innocent people outside of the very city where the first apocalypse happened. Now that is stupid. You're just asking for more people to get infected, and you're asking for that shit to spread, okay? You should have all your survivors deported to another city or something like that, alright? You should be evacuating, not staying there. So that was kind of stupid. That's the first question that came to mind. And that just had some problems and issues with me in terms of reality. So I noticed that a lot of the guards were kind of stupid or just assholes. And then we just get this one guard, this one character who's basically a pedophile, or not a pedophile. He's basically a womanizer and a woman abuser and a rapist, okay? And he is just so soaked up with power that he feels so arrogant and so self-centered that he cares about nobody, alright? And this guy, let me tell you, he's a piece of trash, okay? As soon as I saw this guy, I instantly said to myself,
I want him to die the most gruesome death.
And you know what, we'll get to that later because it was a little disappointing with how he passed. The character itself added some, real feelings, you really hated that guy as soon as you saw him, and I liked that, alright? Gave me some feels, made me hate that guy right off rip, so that character was done perfectly if I hated it off rip. That's the whole point of that character, let's be honest. Then we go and cut to Dave Bautista's shop now, and we have this rich guy walk in with his guards. His name was Katagawa or something like that. I don't remember. He's an Asian guy, basically, Asian businessman, really rich. He owned one of the casinos in Vegas, and basically he was hiring Bautista and whoever else he can get to do a heist for $200 million that he left back there. Now, here's the catch. This whole thing turns out being a lie, and basically they are sent there all to die. And we'll get into that later on, but I just want to let you know and recap you on what the whole situation is. So basically, Bautista does not know that this guy is lying, and he obviously wants the money. He needs it for his future and for his daughter's future, because he wants a better future for his daughter as well, right? So he does it, and he goes and gathers his group. We got a pilot. She was pretty cool. I liked her character. Then we had a mechanic. She seemed sweet, but she didn't really last at all, and we'll get into that. Then we had the gamer guy. I forgot his name exactly, but I think it was Coyote. He was some sort of gamer dude, and he used to go and pop heads with zombies and stuff, and I will get into him later. His character was okay personality-wise, but his movements were just not accurate at all. Alright, we also have a safecracker. Now, he was my favorite character out of the whole bunch. Dieter. he was my favorite. He's on my good list. I loved him. He brought a comical feel to it. He wasn't native, so it made it even funnier with his accent, and he never shot a gun and all this stuff. So basically he's like a whole virgin to zombies, but he's a genius when it comes to saves. And I actually love that we had an innocent guy that we had to protect. We had a goal. It's right there, and he needs to get to the safe. He's that important. All right, I liked him. He played a big role in this whole entire movie, so it was good to see him in the film. And then we had the other guy, I forgot his name, Buzzsaw guy. He was pretty cool as well. I really did like his character. I liked him and Dieter. I definitely shipped them both as a duo. That duo was definitely cool, and I loved seeing that. And then we also had two others. We had a guy who is an agent for the government, basically, and he was hired to later on betray them and just get a part of something that they needed inside of the city, which I will touch on later as well. They basically head out, and we run into this French blonde lady. I forgot her name as well, but I did like her character. She had a lot of info, and she was the one that was going to guide them to a safe location and to do this whole thing safely. But this does bring me to one of my bads, okay? Why did the alpha zombie, either one of them, it could be one of them because they were all alive at that point, why didn't one of those zombies take this guy's taser, gun, whatever the hell else he had on him? Why didn't they not take it? If they're so smart and they can use their brain, why didn't they use a gun? Don't know, but it would have been cooler to see that if they were actually intelligent. After that, they basically start passing through the whole city, and they run up to the casino. And when they get to the casino, there's a bunch of hibernating zombies that are basically sleeping, and they have to crawl through all of these sleeping zombies without touching them, because if they do touch them, they will wake up and they will attack you. So you cannot touch them, and you cannot be too loud or flash any lights in their eyes, okay? So they have to go through all these zombies, and basically Batista is just leading the way with his glow sticks on the floor. We had that one dual-wielding chick behind the agent, and she was last, basically. This agent guy, I'm just gonna call him the imposter, if you will. The imposter takes one of the glow sticks and sets it off to another course on purpose to screw over this girl, so that way she gets killed and eaten alive by zombies. Now this was a scumbag move, and it made me want him to die even more. I hated that character as well. Did not like him at all. Alright, as she's leaving the exit, the guy closes the door, seals it off, and she's looking at the guy like, "You mother trucker." The guy actually thought she was gonna die, and I also thought she was gonna die. I thought she was done for. I thought that was the end of her. And then she just busts out the freaking glass out of nowhere, and that was an awesome scene. And she just started popping off. She's just shooting all these zombies. She took at least 50 with her. She had to have. I freaking hated this so much because she could have survived. As she's breaking out, there's no zombies on her. She could have easily got up, started crawling, whatever she had to do. This guy, Mr. Coyote, who's bragging that he's so good at popping heads and can pop 3 heads with 1 pistol bullet, which doesn't happen, by the way. It's not realistic. That just doesn't work like that. Why didn't he shoot at the zombies around her and help her out? He could have easily saved her, or even went up there and grabbed her out of it. They were not that far away, and the whole group just keeps moving along, and this guy's left to see his freaking friend die. It is what it is. They couldn't save her. That was kind of stupid on my part. Definitely a bad for me. They all split up. Chopper Gunner goes to the roof. Safecracker, Buzzsaw Guy, and Coyote go downstairs to the vault and try to get the traps to be set so they don't have to walk through them. And then we have Batista and his daughter up on the roof doing the power. They have a whole, fatherly daughter moment, whatever the hell you want to call that conversation, because it was kind of stupid. It was not needed, and if they were on a strict time limit, they needed to not waste time talking. And then we had the agent with the Frenchie outside getting the alpha's attention for some odd reason. At this point, the power goes on, zombies start going crazy. The vault is opened. Agent freaking betrays the Frenchie, basically, doesn't listen to her orders, and starts cutting off the alpha's head, and says that this thing is worth more than we're trying to steal, and that was his whole goal, to come here, lays it all on the line, but does not kill the Frenchie because she did save him at one point. The daughter runs off like a moron, which was freaking annoying. The lady gets her freaking neck snapped, which was crazy, okay? That freaking blew me away. I love that scene. That scene was amazing, beautifully executed. It was unexpected, and that's what I like to see. Anything that is unexpected. If I can predict what's gonna happen, it's kind of lame. It's lackluster. It's not making me interact with the movie itself. We have Dieter and Buzzsaw Guy downstairs, and they're fighting one of the alphas. It's the main alpha, which I think was named Zeus or whatnot. They're fighting him. They're trying to fight hand to hand. Dieter's standing back. Buzzsaw Guy loses the battle, obviously, and he gets shut inside of the vault by Dieter, and Dieter sacrifices himself, and that was kind of sad and stupid at the same time because he could have easily went into the vault as well. Coyote gets taken out eventually. He blows himself up, taking a shit ton of the zombies with him, so that was awesome. MVP right there. They all regroup and they start heading towards the roof because they need to get out of there and they need to look for the daughter. As they're going up, the agent's up first, and that was their first mistake. They should have not let him go up first because they were all suspicious of him already as is, and the Frenchie already knew that he was going to betray them anyway, so I don't know why she let him go ahead of him, but whatever it may be, don't know. So that's another bad for me. So this guy, he goes up to the roof but then ends up on the floor with the tiger, and this scene, phenomenal. All right, this is the best scene out of the whole film in my opinion. The zombie tiger comes out of here and this guy starts panicking and shits his pants. The tiger freaking tears him up, mauling him, dragging him, just playing with him, toying with him. It's amazing, and the movements of the tiger were so realistic. It was great. The claw marks, awesome. They did everything and executed everything perfectly that a tiger would do in real life. So that was super cool to see. And then at the very end of that whole scene, the tiger puts this guy's head in between his jaws and freaking rips off his whole fucking faceplate. It was amazing and gory and bloody. It was just phenomenal. Okay, that's what I wanted to see in a zombie film, and that's what I was waiting for. And then this guy dies. I was super happy about that. Everybody gets to the roof. Alpha is on roof. The Frenchie pulls out the head, using it as bait, and tells everybody to run. Don't know why she didn't get on, but we'll get into that in a minute. So basically, short and short, she dies by the alpha, and they take off. Now they're searching for the daughter. Coincidentally, the daughter finds her friend Gita out of all these buildings. She doesn't know where she is. She just finds her randomly in some hotel that has like 1,000 rooms. And then they meet up and the alpha finds him. At the same time, Batista's arriving on the roof. He's running down and they meet face to face. The daughter and Batista start heading up. They get on the helicopter and then they stop and they have a casual conversation just to let the freaking alpha catch up. Then the alpha jumps on the chopper, basically kills everybody. Everybody crashes. The lone survivor is Kate. So yeah, kind of stupid, kind of dumb, but either way, that's gonna bring me into my final notes here. I have my final goods, my final bads, everything is written here, and we're gonna recap on this story right now. All the goods I already went through. Now we're getting to the bads. Alright, why was the daughter so freaking stupid? The daughter was stupid, reckless, emotional, and just so dumb that it pissed me off. Alright, every decision she made was impulsive and was based off her own personal emotions and feelings. That was the dumbest thing that I have ever seen, and that's the dumbest thing that anybody could do in a zombie apocalypse, okay? So it was kind of stupid to see that. She did not need to be there, and I just didn't like that character at all, and I even hated it more when she was the last survivor, okay? Hopefully she's not in the next film, but she was terrible, I will say that, as a character. Not as an actor, but as a character. She was terrible. Dead people cannot think, alright? If you are dead or decomposing, you should not have a brain. If you're dead or you're decaying, you do not have a brain. Your brain is rotted, so therefore you cannot think and make logical decisions or rational decisions. Alright? It just doesn't work like that. Honestly, I did not like the whole elite zombies thing. Did not like it, alright? The reason why I did not like it, and I'm not a hater on sci-fi films and whatnot, but as a zombie film, I always want the zombies to be natural, original, okay? I do not want no vampire zombies, super zombies, alien zombies, what have you, okay? it felt more like they were fighting vampires than zombies, and that kind of made me mad because I'd rather see a whole horde of zombies like chasing after them. They're just popping heads left and right, but they're still getting overrun. I didn't want to see no super zombies freaking Hulk smashing people and freaking throwing them and tossing them against the wall and tossing them across the hall and all this crap. It was kind of dumb to me. I didn't like that whole thing. However, I put that aside because that's just a personal bad, in my opinion. Alright. My next flaw would have to be that the shrieks are very annoying. Every minute for the first hour and a half of the freaking film, every time that we had this female zombie on screen, she just shrieked unbelievably loud, okay? It was so annoying, it kept ear raping me, and I was wearing headphones because I was watching this on Netflix and I'm wearing headphones. And that high-pitched freaking shriek was just freaking killing my ears, and I hated it. Sometimes I even had to take off my headset because it was so annoying. Another issue I had with this film is that the dead cannot be affectionate, okay? The dead cannot love each other. They are not capable of feeling things. They are not capable of smelling things. They're not capable of really seeing things most of the time because they're decaying, okay? So they should not be having sexual intercourse and having little zombie babies, which makes no sense, by the way. There should not be no zombie babies. There should not be no zombie sex. And there was a scene in the movie where they have their heads touching and they're about to kiss and they look intimately into each other's eyes. And it's like, no, these are not people. They're zombies. And it's even said that they're zombies. You can also see that physically, they are rotting, they're decaying, they're gray, they're dead, okay? And if you're dead, you don't have a brain, you don't have muscles, you can't do that. It just doesn't work. People will argue and say, oh, maybe she was pregnant beforehand and then she got turned while she was pregnant. Well, let me tell you, a baby needs food and nutrients to survive, and once the mother is dead and not eating or getting any nutrients whatsoever, how do you think this baby's going to survive? It's not going to have any food, it's not going to have any nutrients, it's not going to have any source of protein or nothing. It's just going to die, and the whole stomach is dead. There's a whole bunch of... It just runs into a whole decomposition study. I'm not a goddamn freaking decomposition guy. I don't study dead bodies, but all I gotta say is it doesn't work. Another problem, and this is what I had with the dual-wielding beast, okay? That's what I call her, the dual-wielding beast. Another problem I had with her is while she's dying, instead of saying who the imposter is, and instead of saying, oh, you know, this guy behind you, this spy guy, he's the imposter, he tried to kill me, he's the one that trapped me. Instead of saying that, you waste your breath saying, run, 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 don't worry about me, run. No, she had plenty of time to tell this guy who the imposter is, and she just didn't do it. So that pissed me off a little bit, and it was just kind of stupid on her part to do that, and it kind of fucked the team over in the long run. Alright, how and why did they start just shooting bullets randomly, wasting their ammo when they didn't need to? Like, there were some zombies that weren't even aware of them, and they were just shooting them for no reason, causing more attraction to themselves with not only noise, but flash from the muzzle, and also wasting your ammo. And you see this later on in the film. You see Batista run out of clips, and he could have easily prevented that if he would have killed a couple zombies with a knife or melee weapon instead, or even a bow or something if he brought it. I know not everybody's proficient in bows or crossbows, but that is the way to go in a zombie apocalypse. I think that's the best weapon to have, not guns. And if you do have a gun, make sure it's silenced and you have plenty of ammo. How in the hell did a zombie get a horse, and how is it smart enough to even know how to operate a horse and ride it and give it commands? Because as you know, if you're a horse rider, if you ride horses, or if you've ever ridden one before, you know that you have to use the lead to guide it in the right direction, right? And you also have to know that you have to kick its sides to make it go faster and whatnot. How the hell does that work? How do they comprehend basic motor skills when they don't have a brain? And how does a horse turn into a zombie and survive when you look at the freaking horse in the film, it's made completely of bone mostly, and it looks disgusting. That thing would fall apart within an instant. It's rotting. It's dead. That thing would just freaking sink and rot to the freaking ground, okay? That would not work like that and cannot gallop as fast as a freaking helicopter can, because later in the film you could see that he beats freaking Batista to the hotel with the damn horse, okay, over a helicopter. That just doesn't work like that. There's no muscle mass within that horse to even gallop that fast, okay? It doesn't work like that. Another issue I had is when they got into the vault, they knew by then that there was a nuke that was on its way to blow up the whole entire city. With them knowing this, they decided to play with the money in the vault, and we had this whole scene playing music, and they're like, they're wasting the money, you know, they're playing with it, making it rain, doing all this dumb shit, wasting time, and they wasted easily like 5 to 10 minutes within that freaking time period that they could have been using to be deporting that freaking cash. Nobody was there at that time. They could have easily been getting it out, and they could have been up to the roof by that point. Alright, but instead they wanted to play with the cash, and I had a problem with that. Another issue I had was, why did Dieter not go into the safe with Buzzsaw Guy, okay? Why? They could have easily done that. They could have easily even done it as soon as they seen the Alpha arrive. They could have easily both, with combined strength, closed the safe even faster and locked themselves in until that guy was gone and they can go out. We have quite a few issues, okay? So we're going to get into the second section or second set of issues that I have with this film. It's very unfortunate that it has so many issues, but I'm going based off of reality and logic when I rate these films and when I review them, okay? I do not go by personal gain or personal opinions. I go based on logic and reality on any film, okay? So another issue I had was, how did Buzzsaw Guy survive the nuclear blast when walking out, okay? I know that the blast happened before he got out the vault, but when he did walk out the vault, there would be millions of rads out there, first of all, and it would be a whole fiery hell burning like crazy. On top of that, there was also the whole building that collapsed on top of the actual vault itself, so how the hell did he climb out of that as well? I don't know how he did any of that. He should not have survived any of that, and he should have been trapped in the vault for at least a year or two, okay? There's no absolute way you would survive that. The only way that I said he could have survived it, because I saw it later on in the film and I changed my mind. He did get bit, so he may technically be a zombie or super soldier already, okay? So maybe that's why he didn't get rads or radiation damage to his body and didn't get freaking stage 4 cancer, because that's what he should have had. Another issue is, why didn't Frenchie just get on the heli with the head and then toss it back to the guy when they left? Why couldn't she just do that? Instead, she sits here with the freaking head at gunpoint, and she decides to basically negotiate with this alpha zombie, which has no real thoughts or sympathy for humans, okay? It just doesn't work like that. So she's trying to negotiate with this guy and is telling the others to leave while she has the head at gunpoint. Why couldn't she just keep the head at gunpoint, hop on the chopper, right? Tell this guy to stay back while they take off. And when they take off, just toss it back to him, and he won't be mad. He'll probably be like, "Oh, okay, you're fine, because you gave the head back to me." It's gonna get nuked anyway, so it doesn't matter if you gave the head back to him or not. Instead, they want to act stupid and buy time and be the hero, and she ended up getting impaled with the damn rebar, and she tosses the head falls off the building, splats on the ground like a damn meatball. It was kind of funny. And then the guy gets mad and just freaking kills her. So, yeah. Or kills her, because we didn't really see it too much. Why in the hell was there no rain scene? Okay, this is a big one, okay? Because earlier, if you know, and you were paying attention, earlier within a certain piece of dialogue, they said that, or Frenchie said that, in the rain, all of the zombies come back to life, or back to consciousness, and they start attacking and gathering up in hordes, okay? So why the heck did they not take this opportunity to have a bunch of dormant zombies in a big area and just let it rain? That would have been so cool to see Batista freaking shooting through zombies, slashing through them in the rain, with freaking hordes and hordes piling on each other. It would have been so much cooler to see that, rather than have what happened in this film, okay? I wanted to see that. I was hoping we would see that, but we never did. And that was kind of sad to see. Another issue I had was towards the end when they were getting Kate. Why in the bloody hell, when they were boarding the helicopter, why did they just sit there and smile at each other and was reassuring each other for no reason, when they know there was a nuke on its way, number one, and they knew that they were being followed by a freaking massive alpha zombie? Why in the hell would you stop what you're doing to smile and have a little wholesome moment? Ooh, wow. Why would you do that when you're trying to get out of here and not get nuked? Why? Why? I don't know. And this is what caused the alpha zombie to catch up, hop on the freaking helicopter, and start messing with him, alright? It was so stupid, and I hated that, okay? While this zombie is on the helicopter, Batista is freaking struggling with this guy, okay? Why the hell were the other two girls, Gita and Kate, his own daughter, struggling on helping him? Nobody helped him. Everybody looked at him and said,
"Oh wow, there's a freaking zombie attacking him. I don't know what to do."
with a combined strength of 3 people, it would be possible, okay? They could have done it, and they just did not do that. They did not interfere or nothing, and it was just complete bullshit, okay? Especially if that's your father, you're gonna help him. That heli crash is not survivable. I don't care who you are, I don't care how big you are, how buff, how fat, how freaking medically trained you are not surviving a helicopter crash like that. It just doesn't happen. It just does not, okay? The way it crashed, it definitely caved in on itself and was fixed with CGI at the very ending where it's sliding through the freaking desert. But when it first landed, you can easily see that it folds in on itself. And whoever's in that back seat or whatever, or that back area, they're dead. It's all open there. There's no harnesses, there's nothing. They're all freaking free, just sitting there. So they would have easily flew out or been crushed. I believe, and I love the Cranberries, I love you guys, I love your band, and I love your songs. For a 2021 film, this music was really cliche. I'm sorry, but it was so cliche. You would expect this kind of music or this song to be played at like a 2011 zombie film, like, you know, freaking Dawn of the Dead or something like that. That's where you would expect this music to be played into. And then, obviously, my last issue with this film is I did not like the way that the main character died, because Dave Bautista is basically the main character, and I did not like how he died. Apparently, he was bit. He survived the helicopter crash, only to become infected, which the daughter lets him become infected, mind you, and then just gets shot in the forehead. Just like that. If they turned him, they could have easily had a bigger role for him and made him like a new alpha or something like that, that transfers over into the sequel or whatnot. I would love to see that more than him just getting shot in the head after doing all of that work and after saying all of those things and just doing everything he's done throughout the film. It was just kind of a letdown to see him die like that, but that's just my opinion. Now moving on to the side notes and side questions to wrap up this whole review. I know it's a long one, so stick with me here, bear with me. All the timestamps will be below, so you guys won't have to do too much work. There was a scene, obviously, when the alpha female was decapitated by the agent. There was another alpha there that was a male, started crawling towards him kind of like a dog on all fours. How could you not hit this guy 5 feet in front of you, crawling on all fours? His head is right there. It's just clear for you to see. It's so easy to shoot, especially with a freaking accurate, high-powered rifle like that. How do you miss? How? It's not possible. That was kind of dumb to me, and it was a side note that I had to write down because, like, come on, man. How are you that bad of a shot? But you can freaking shoot someone clean in the head that's moving from, like, freaking 10 feet away. Okay, so now this brings me to my final theory and questions that I had for this film. Alright, this is the biggest theory and the biggest questions that I had for this film that may tie into a sequel, and it's just some sensitive info that we were not shown yet. Okay? So, are the zombies actually part alien or extraterrestrial? Or could they be robots? Because if you look closely in some of the scenes, you see hints of this throughout the whole entire film. Like I said in the beginning, you have UFOs that are zooming past Area 51. Then you have super soldiers with super abilities, and when they are killed, some of them, especially the elites, for some reason, it's all the elites, they have blue blood, which is very odd. Why would you have blue blood? I feel like what it is that's controlling them and keeping them active would have to be nanomachines. There's no other way, there's no other explanation that dead people can act this strong and move this freely, okay? There was one point in the movie where they were running through the casino and Batista's hopping on tables and whatnot, and eventually this zombie pops out of nowhere and he shoots him or someone shoots it in the face. And if you pause and you look at it slowly, or you slow down the footage, you can clearly see that it has some sort of robot looking eye that's like blue and it's like flashing and stuff. It was kind of weird. Like, I was like, what the heck? I thought it was an editing issue, but looking back at it, no, there was actually some detail to it. It kind of looked like a Terminator in a way. So that's why I was saying, I don't know, maybe it could be like a government project to actually get the city to evacuate so they have an excuse to blow it up or whatnot. I don't know, but we'll get told that within the sequel, because you know there's going to be a sequel. We left off with Buzzsaw Guy getting all the money. He gets to the airport, he buys a private jet, he's balling out, he's all happy that he has the money, and he's like, oh yes, I'm the only survivor, I'm gonna freaking live my life with all this money. Then he toasts to these girls, and then starts feeling woozy and all drowsy and messed up, and feeling the effects of when he's turning. So he goes to the bathroom to get himself together. He notices that he's bit. However, he is different from the others because the others turned super fast when they were bit. But this guy, only this guy, and it had to be a few hours because there's no way you walk to an airport from Vegas, through a nuke, through all that rubble, within a couple minutes. It doesn't work like that, alright? Why he didn't turn too fast, I don't know. So that's why I'm thinking maybe he's going to be the next alpha for the next film that's going to take place in Mexico, because as you saw, the flight is to Mexico. So hopefully that is the case and he's the new alpha and he spreads it further to Mexico and we get another film, and hopefully it's more logical and real. So overall, this film was pretty decent. If, like I said, if you like sci-fi, you like action, you like visually stunning things, this is the film for you. If you love zombies with supernatural abilities, this is the film for you. If you like seeing stupid people make stupid decisions, this is the film for you. But all in all, I would have to rate this film personally a 6 out of 10 from a logical and realistic standpoint, okay? The movie is not bad, and I'm not bashing it on Zack Snyder fans. However, for me, as a person, and also as a critic, I believe that it is a solid 6 out of 10, and that's what it deserves in this category, because the CG, the sound effects, and the camera work is what carried it. Let's be honest here, that's what carried the film. So all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you guys did, make sure you do a huge favor for me and hit that like, rate, comment, subscribe below, and become a butcher today for your daily slice of happiness. I'm your host CJ, your fellow survivor, and I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.